A very good afternoon. It is a Wednesday afternoon. I'm sure you are all baffled as to what the hell is happening with Touchline. Listen, it's the Champions League, and what a way to get us started and hyped up for the second leg of the second semi-final. Today on the Touchline, wait. If you are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Oarabile Diphoko. Before I get carried away, I'm so excited already. My name is Oarabile Diphoko, and I'm not alone. I have Mr. Vincent here with me this afternoon. Vince, welcome to Touchline.
Thank you for having me. As usual, I see you more than I see my parents, which is a sad thing, actually.
I mean, maybe we need to get used to the fact that, I'm also going to start seeing your parents soon. Maybe when you're going to the home, I don't know. But, now we're very accepting at home.
Leave it offline. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you so much. Before we get into the business of the Champions League as well as the Europa, big news coming out of South Africa. On Monday evening, we sat here and spoke about Benny McCarthy and Nomve there, but no, Safa was like, sorry, Hans, sorry, kiddos. The new coach, rather actually the 19th senior coach for South Africa has been announced. It is Hugo Broos, a man who has won AFCON with Cameroon back in 2017. The 69-year-old takes over on a 5-year contract. We know him to be a winner. I mean, he's won the league in Belgium as well as having coached Anderlecht too. Vince, what do you think of this signing? And also, did you even know this man prior to the announcement?
I didn't know this guy off a bar of soap. I've also been there doing my research now. I don't know. I feel like he was the only foreigner to actually be on the 5-man shortlist. So quite surprisingly, Safa made the same decision for an ongoing issue. But we also don't know how this is going to pan out. So yeah, obviously we sat here and we thought, surely we're going to go a young coach, not a 67-year-old veteran. So I feel like we've gone down this road before, but Safa are essentially the decision makers. And if we're going to keep on, trying to, cure the same disease with wrong, we don't know how it's going to go. Let's be optimistic. Let's realize that he is a proven winner, okay, at an AFCON level. So we would like to believe that he might be able to go and research the Bafana Bafana.
I mean, I agree. I mean, when they first postponed the announcement because they were saying COVID regulations, we should have known by then that it's going to be an international coach because, I mean, why would we worry about COVID when Benny McCarthy is a flight away? From OR Tambo to Kingshire, it's just like 45 minutes. We can easily just holler. And I guess now SAFA have revealed their plans and they have a 5-year-long plan with regards to Coach Hugo. And hopefully this is the change that Bafana Bafana need. But also, we've been saying that the change starts at the top. So we don't know how much of a difference this new coach is going to make with regards to all the problems that we already have in South African football.
Yeah, it's a little bit annoying as well because I think he would have been welcomed with more open arms had SAFA not made such a brouhaha or a bugger up of the announcement and the build.
Yeah.
There's an announcement that should have been done a fortnight ago, and I just think the anticipation and the wait has also, allowed South Africans' expectations to also be tempered by now the reality that we find ourselves in. So let's see how it goes. Like we said, he is a winner. He does come with a plethora of experience. So let's see how it goes. Let's be optimistic and let's be positive. And yeah, we never know what Bruce or good old Mr. Hugo brings to the table. So let's see.
Let's see what the 5-year plan is for him. And that is the breaking news coming out of South Africa today. But now back to regular programming, back to our afternoon sessions on Touchline. The very first, actually, for us to be live on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's only because the Champions League and Europa Leagues are so fantastic. We just could not wait. Last night, we saw Manchester City book their way into their first ever a final. The 29th of May will have an English team, that is Manchester City, with Pep Guardiola reaching his first final in 10 years. How ridiculous was that game last night?
I was here on Touchline on Monday, and I said, guys, this is what's going to happen. Run this shit back. And there were 3 people in this panel that would not give me my flowers. But yesterday, exactly
Maybe
what I said
two.
would happen.
Maybe
Yeah.
two.
A lie. 2 out of the 4 panel members would not
Yes.
be allowed to say. No, listen. Neymar. Guys, we spoke about Man City's defense. Ruben Diaz, 23 years old, bringing an imperious performance. Unbelievable. So, as you said though, in your first question, I almost can't believe that this is Pep's first final in a decade. And
It's
we're talking
crazy.
about we're talking about essentially a manager who's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. His first final in 10 years. And I think yesterday, even after the game, he even said to the panel that we're interviewing, or should I say the interviewer, that it really proves how difficult the Champions League is. He has had great teams, but it proves how difficult the Champions League is. And honestly, there is an element of luck that you've got to have to go and make that final. And essentially, I think he started speaking about the journey in terms of where City have come to go and get there. And so all those heartbreaks of the Tottenham 2 years ago, last season,
last
year, those defeats make this victory somewhat sweeter. And first Champions League final for Man City in half a century. So obviously, history's been made. But man, what an amazing game! What an amazing game for a good 45 minutes. I just think that Pep got it so right. He didn't complicate anything. We knew he wasn't going to play with the striker. And I think to go and borrow Jim Bigland's words, yesterday it really all came down to Latino temperament. And I'm not saying that to be racist.
You don't even have to apologize for that.
I even already apologize. But look, it was an amazing game. I thought, tactically it was amazing. Exactly what you want from a tough game. Tactically, back and forth, some red cards, some controversial decisions, some offsides, being caught as goal, sometimes a penalty claim. So there was everything in that fixture. I loved it.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy to think that before that Mahrez's first goal, PSG were, just been awarded a penalty, which obviously VAR overturned because Zinchenko was like, no, it's not. Hey, this is my shoulder. He fought that one. I mean, he was fighting throughout the game. I mean, his own captain had to calm him down at some stage. But looking at PSG and their reactions to a lot of the things that happened, because I mean, there's news coming out from Ander Herrera as well as Marco Verratti saying that, the ref did use some foul language with regards to Paredes and a certain tackle that was made. So that's why their reaction was that. But also looking at Di Maria, his reaction of, a player of his caliber having been in this industry for so long. What do you, we can't excuse that behavior. I don't even know what to say about what Di Maria did. He fell straight into a Fernandinho mishap and read his soul.
And we saw what happened there on the touchline with him literally lashing out to Fernandinho the first time with the arm. And then essentially putting the boot out and stomping on Fernandinho. And you think to yourself, in the heat of the moment, you would like to believe that PSG they've won titles. PSG were in the final last year against the Bayern. And you would like to believe that, not even you would like to believe, the true reality is the players that were on the pitch yesterday are the same players that were in that final last year, bar star Kylian Mbappe. So you would like to be that they would go and bring that experience into this fixture. And it surprised me. A guy like Di Maria, almost, I don't want to say single-handedly, but he probably single-handedly won the La Decima for Real Madrid. He's a guy who knows how to take a game by the scruff of the neck. And for a guy who could just completely lose it at that moment, I was perplexed. And I think that's why sometimes we underrate how difficult it is to go the distance in terms of the Champions League, because PSG are used to winning the league on.
Winning,
So they're used to that. They're not used to this, this never say die. Things are on the line. So that's why they haven't been able to get over that hump. And when you get over that hump, that hurdle, so to say, then I feel like they'll get there as a team. But I guess it just wasn't to be. You can't go up against a Pep team that went on a 21 game winning streak that is playing without a striker, and they're making football and think that, with bad attitude. And sometimes you're a professional. You cannot allow, one, the opponent to get to you, or two, the ref to get to you.
The ref, yeah.
Yeah, they're psychologists for these things, and these psychologists work in your club, and how you can just let yourself down, your team down at that moment. He really got that red card in the 67th minute.
Your team was 2-0 down already at that time. Like, it was not helping in any regard. But also, I want to go back to Pochettino, because after the first half, I really thought he would have made that substitution, especially with Mauro Icardi, because we barely saw him in the game. I really thought he would have, made that substitution where, yes, he wasn't going to bring in Mbappe, that's fine, but bring in a Moise Kean who has been playing and has been banging in goals anyway. So you already had that momentum just going forward. But every time Neymar had to go forward, he didn't have anybody supporting him. And that's another thing that lacked in the PSG thing. So I wanted to bring this conversation back to Pochettino and obviously Twitter and the chats and how apparently you really can take the man out of Spurs. So Orange, can we still put that on Pochettino?
Oh man, I hate saying it, but you're gonna say you can take the man out of Spurs, but you can't take Spurs out of the man. Hashtag PSG were Spurs yesterday. It's surprising to me, because even in their duels in the Premier League, I mean, there was one instance where Pep actually called Tottenham the Harry Kane team, and that didn't go down well. Yeah, that didn't go down well with Poch. And then it just so happened that 2 years ago, Harry Kane was not available for that Champions League fixture against City. And what happened? City were absolutely knocked out.
Lucas Moura came on.
Yeah. So I feel like Poch does know how to beat Pep, but we've never ever looked at a Poch team and a Pep team and been like, you know what, I actually favor Mauricio for this one. Every single time Mauricio has come out, on the winning end, I think it's just honestly been down to City ruining their chances, because we remember that 2018 game. Boy, did they ruin their chances. They argued to them in the final minute. They ruined their chances. So I would say it's unfortunate, but you can, like, Rome is not built in a day, especially in a footballing sense, in terms of PSG sense. It would have been wild for us to expect for Poch to go into PSG in one season and essentially be able to go and manage superstars, their temperaments, to go and get them over the hurdle. No, man, we were asking for too much. And I think right now things are written in the stars, for this City team. It's really written. But then you think to yourself, damn, Pep Guardiola, he's won 14 out of 15 finals.
Finals, yeah.
6 out of 6 finals. So you want something tasty, but I'm also not going to offend you, because I know you're a Chelsea fan, so you want it to be different.
I thought maybe you just got blind to this orange badge in front of you, because I was just like, nah, my guy's getting carried away, but it's okay. I'll bring him back down to earth. Speaking of these, yeah?
I will tell you, though, that I feel that Chelsea pose a bigger threat to Man City than Real Madrid does in the final. That's as much as I'm going to give you, though.
Okay, let us move on into that second semi-final that you're talking about. Tonight, we do have Chelsea, who host the 13-time champions in Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, at this point in time, do have a little bit of an edge with that one away goal that they do have. But also, we know that Real Madrid are defending champions in every aspect of the word, whether it's La Liga, whether it's Champions League. This is Zinedine Zidane. And also, I speak like this because they are both my teams. I have had the toughest of time. I've been having the worst time.
Football's amazing when you watch as a neutral. That's why yesterday's game was amazing. There were no tears. But boy, you're going to be hurting today. So
I mean, irregardless. But somebody said to me that at a stage like this, I can't be neutral, and I can understand where they're coming from, because looking at both sides, obviously everybody needs Chelsea, or Chelsea supporters needs Chelsea to get another Champions League. It's been a while. But also look at Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane, with the marvelous things he's done over the years, he too deserves it, surely. So it's one of those tassels, man. And when it's up to Thomas Tuchel and Zinedine Zidane magic to come out on top tonight and obviously pose that threat for, making the 29th of May in Istanbul against Manchester City. I've said this for weeks. I've said this on record. It's probably even on my Twitter that I did say we're going to have an English final. So already that made it sound as if I knew Chelsea was going to make the final. That was before the draw was done. But
you're saying a lot right now. And for the first time ever, you and I are going to swap roles now. So now I am the host. Now I'm going to ask you, how do you feel today's game is going to go? Because let me do the whole thing. We've seen the duels between the two men before in the past. And I just want to know, as an avid Chelsea fan, as an avid Chelsea supporter, who has gone on record on Touchline in saying that there will be an all-English final. How do you feel this game is going to go? Right now, advantage Chelsea. How does the game end tonight? Go.
So here's the thinking. With Real Madrid, never, ever, ever take Real Madrid to extra time. Because the minute you do that, you've lost the tie. So the main business for Chelsea tonight is to make sure they get that first goal. That first goal is very crucial. And we know with Real Madrid's playing style, we know that obviously Varane is out for today. We do know that Sergio Ramos will be playing. We know that Eder Militao is probably playing. So that means the space behind Real Madrid, behind that defense, is wide open, which makes it so great for the likes of Pulisic, for the likes of Timo Werner to exploit. But also, we know Timo's mishaps, guys. Chest pains galore.
Tell me, do you think that Timo Werner gets the nod tonight, given the fact that Tuchel even went on records last week in saying that he's not just a little bit concerned, but he's quite concerned about the two misses that Timo Werner, because he had two chances last week.
Yes.
Literally go and bury that ball. Do you feel
to kill the game? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that one, he should start? Do you think that two, Thomas Tuchel will start him? And the last question, what do you think Thomas Tuchel has brought to Chelsea to go and get them to be actually challenging to be in the final of the Champions League? I like this role. This is nice.
Look at you. Do not get too comfortable in that chair. That was mine. You'll be giving it back next week, Monday. But one thing that Tuchel has done is bring belief. I think a lot of the players were very critical of themselves. There was a lot of self-doubt, and I'm going to mention a few names with regards to Andreas Christensen. I think we never saw him in that centre-back role. Antonio Rudiger, we never saw him post Frank Lampard. We had already written them out. So he's already built that belief, and that's something that I appreciated when he first got to Chelsea. Because scoring wasn't a problem for Chelsea, we was conceding so much that he got the structure of the defense right because he knew strike and attack wasn't the issue. So I love that that's what he's done for the boys. And also too, he also has these German boys firing. I mean, as much as we want to say that, Timo is not producing in terms of goals, he is the first player in his first season since Eden Hazard to reach double figures of goals and assists in their first season. So he's not having the worst of seasons. He could be having a better one. But yes, I do believe Timo Werner will start tonight. And also, I do believe he will keep Kai Havertz in that false nine position. I do believe he's going to start the two Germans. And also looking at defense, Andreas Christensen and Rudiger and Thiago Silva are going to be very busy with that man, that legend, the love of my life, Eden Hazard, who will be starting for Real Madrid today.
And how do you feel about that? Are you nervous for the return of Hazard coming into the side? Do you think that he will do something against you guys?
He will. I mean, he's the one person that knows all our secrets and he knows all our defenders quite well. But also, he played a full solid 70, 75 minutes on Saturday, and Eden Hazard is ready to go, man. I'm very, very skeptical. I'm very scared, but he will make a difference. But also, I really don't want him to score. Not yet. I'm not ready.
How do you feel if he scores and celebrates at the bridge against his former team?
I know if he scores, he won't celebrate. He won't. Like, I know he's not a young... No, he's not a David Luiz. I know David Luiz and I had no manners. I don't see Hazard celebrating.
That's how I felt about a certain former captain of a club that I used to support in North London, Robin van Persie. And I'm telling you, things will hurt you in ways you never thought you imagined. But it's going to be a tasty fixture tonight. I'm
Yo.
very, very excited. I just know there is something called football heritage when it comes to Ala Madrid. And so I just feel that they know how to get over the line. Karim Benzema, almost in the form of his life at Real Madrid, essentially carrying that team. That was his finish, literally in the first leg.
Oh my God!
Was
I cheered.
Absolutely outrageous. So, if Vinicius comes to the party, if we know Toni Kroos and Modric will hold it down in the middle of the park, we know Casemiro is going to have an imperious performance.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, will your moments of magic count towards something, or Real Madrid keep on doing what they know that they're good at? So, going to be delicious. Let's see what happens tonight.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm also just a little bit concerned because as much as I'm saying, yeah, Kai Havertz will probably play for Chelsea, I'm looking at, the UCL top goal scorers right now, and majority of them are chilling on 6 goals, and that includes the likes of Olivier Giroud. I don't know why will we not play Olivier Giroud. I mean, this game, in the sense that I'm saying that the back will be open, screams a Giroud kind of vibe. So I'm just also looking at who Real Madrid also going to have in their team, because I mean they're chopping and changing as usual, but we have an idea of who they're going to play. And looking at how they played in the weekend, yeah, we know that Vinicius is probably going to start with Eden Hazard. We have Benzema in the front. That midfield doesn't change. Modric, Casemiro, Kroos. Like, we know Real Madrid, and those are the players that won that treble. 2016 to 2018 was a dominance by Real Madrid, and they know how to get over the line. So again, just like last week, it's experience versus speed.
100%. And it's also going to be a matter of, who wastes less chances. Because I feel like that's the issue of Olivier Giroud sometimes, that he gets the opportunities and he wastes the simple opportunities, but then he'll go and bet you a goal that is probably outside of the XG, factor. So, but whereas, Karim Benzema is a gunman, he doesn't miss. But we know Vinicius is also very wasteful. So it's really going to be a matter of the chances that fall to the required people, they should fall to the guys who essentially are your gunmen. Chances should fall to your Pulisic's of the world. But your chances should fall to, if it is Timo Werner, let him make it count. But if the chances of Real Madrid fall to Karim Benzema, I don't know how today's going to go, but I know that the tears will be in order for you tomorrow morning. But that's not about
morning is not like already, like, what that song plays? We are the champions. I'm just like, my champion. One of my champions is going to hear this for the very last time. But I also feel that a game such as this is also poised out and set really for the goalkeepers too, because I really believe that tonight they're going to be a lot busier than they were in that first leg for the semis. I think Mendy and Thibaut Courtois are going to have quite a bit of a tough time with those forwards that we've been mentioning. But just to wrap up this chat, Vince, who do you see in that final in Istanbul on the 29th of May?
I think I want the final that everybody wants, and I want a final that goes and sees 2 experienced managers at the highest level who have been there with their teams at the highest level, whose records are actually almost unblemished. So, like I said, Guardiola, 15 out of 16 finals he's won. Zidane, 6 out of 6 finals he's won. I want to see a game of stars. Last year the Bayern Munich PSG game did not really live up to the billing. But I feel like this one, you essentially have. It's almost like the Barca of old. That Guardiola is trying to create at City against the new age Real Madrid of Zinedine Zidane. Yeah, so that's the match that I'm craving. I can see a Chelsea versus City any day of the week in the Premier League.
You really are. Like, even on Saturday, you're going to see them.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, people think that, Saturday's game means something. Look, City are going to win Saturday's game, and they're going to win it with their lesser than team. And so it just shows to me that, yes, Chelsea, you've done great to get to the final, but I would like to see a Real Madrid City final. Also, purely because I have some feelings towards City. I like City, so I don't want to have someone on this podcast running in my ear for a whole year telling me about Chelsea. So that's what I want. And my prayers are strong. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love how you trust your ancestors, but you heard it here first from Vince. He does say that he wants Manchester City and Real Madrid to make that final in Istanbul. But also now moving on to another league, that is the Europa League. His league, I'm going to call it that for now, because his team have a lot of work to do in that second leg when they host Villarreal at the Emirates on Thursday. That is the Europa League. Manchester United beating Roma in that first leg, getting a 6-2 victory. I don't know what the hell was happening with Roma, but they did it again this weekend, and maybe that's why Jose Mourinho did say that he is never out of football. 3 weeks later, he announces that he will be back. I look forward to seeing Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho on the touchline, because we know that when those two are together, ties fly, literally. But Vince, looking at Europa right now, how is it poised? Do you see a victory? Do you see Arsenal in the final?
I'll tell you what, because clearly I'm Houdini. I'm Nostradamus nowadays. I know exactly what's going to happen because I'm predicting things, and it just happens. So I'm going to go and say that Arsenal are going to win this game. They're going to go and put in a 2-0 performance. I fully expect that. I hope. It's come to a stage where I'm not even expecting Arsenal to go for the big stars to come to the party. I'm just right now. I'm hanging on a thread. It's just hope nowadays. It's honestly hope. And I'm reading a book that's told me to go and put positive things out there. And every time I come to Touchline, I complain about the nonsense that is Arsenal Football Club and that they should date and start again. So today I'm going to say the players are hungry. The manager knows exactly what he's doing. The players are performing to their best potential. I'm lying, but I'm going to put it out there. But I think we actually haven't chatted about last week's game. What I will tell you is that this tie should be over. But the game that happened last week was exactly why Arsenal sacked Unai Emery. That was the most Unai Emery performance I've seen. You are beating Arsenal 2-0 at home. Arsenal get a red card, and you tell me you can't go and put Arsenal to bed. You can't go and do what United did against Roma and completely cancel that next time. And that was my issue with Unai Emery from the very beginning, is that in winning positions, even when he's got an advantage, he literally goes into these defensive stance, give another team hope. And that's what he did. He gave Arsenal hope. And because now we're at the Emirates, I just think that there's something in that fixture. If Arsenal score one goal, it's already advantage Arsenal. If the game ends 1-0 purely because of away goals, we win. So I think Arsenal have the ability to go and give it to Villarreal.
What happens when a certain former Arsenal player nets the winning goal for Villarreal with also your former coach? I mean, imagine. I mean, he knows how to win Europe. I mean, he's done it before. He's done it several times. He's one of the most, winners with regards to Europa. What do you think he might do differently? I mean, he's probably looked at last week's game and saw that they literally have a foot in the door right now. What do you think can he do in the second leg to make sure of that?
If Unai Emery can come out and be as dominant in possession, be as aggressive as his team were in the first half of that game, if he can come out and be brave, today it's going to be a matter of which coach is braver. Does Arteta come out and be somewhat aggressive from the very beginning, while knowing that he can leave gaps in behind, or does Unai Emery think to himself, this is the opportunity, I think Unai Emery knows the weaknesses of this Arsenal side. He knows his team very, very well. Yes, a different team, but very much the personnel are very much the same. And he knows how, the Arsenal team plays. I think it's generally gonna be a matter of also which players actually step up to the occasion.
On the day,
yeah. We saw how the Arsenal team was last week. They were very, very tentative in possession. They were shy. They were timid. But we need someone to go out there, exert a personality. That's exactly why I'm such a big fan of Lacazette, because Lacazette comes in there with that personality. Granit Xhaka comes in with that personality. There are mistakes in them, but they come with that personality. Sometimes I feel like Aubameyang doesn't come in with that personality, and we just need someone aggressive to kind of like take the game by the scruff. But these are also two teams that don't have a player that can take game by the scruff. But I'm looking at Nicolas Pepe. I'm looking at Bukayo Saka. I'm looking at the Arsenal Kevin De Bruyne, Emil Smith Rowe, and I'm thinking, come on, our season is done already. Like, our season is done already. Just give me something.
Just give me the title. Just give me the cup.
Do not get to the final of this Europa League. If Man United has done their part. You wanted your All English final. Here it is, just in a different format because your team is losing. But here's the All English final. Give me something. That's all I'm saying.
I love the shade that you just threw in there a little bit, just in passing, in case you missed it. I love that. But also speaking about that other team that's done their part already. I mean, Manchester United I don't even know what to call it, but they demolished Roma last week, 6-2 victory. And it already sounds like in your mind, you are already there at the Europa Cup final. It is an all-English final. You guys have to deal with the likes of one of the top goal scorers in this competition, that is Bruno Fernandes. How do you guys see, that threat? How do you think Arsenal can combat that threat? Because everything that Manchester United these days does has to go through him. How do you stop that threat?
I must say, if there's one team in the Premier League that I actually don't fear, it's Manchester United. Purely because also all their fans are always in here in my ear.
Yeah.
If you can even go and look back in terms of the history of this fixture over recent times, given the fact that now they've broken away from their manager of old, who gave them the glory days. Since then, since let's say 2015, recent times, we're going to go like half a decade, Arsenal has been very dominant of the Manchester United versus Arsenal fixture. They've been very dominant of that fixture.
Yeah.
But the issue comes in with the fact that United's top players know how to step up. Paul Pogba is stepping up. Bruno Fernandes gets up in the penalty box. So I don't know if you step up to that or you just whatever. What is it with certain United players? Ashley Young did it. Bruno Fernandes doing it. But we're gonna have VAR in that final. Half the world is watching that final. So I dare him to go and give them a Bruno Fernandes penalty.
A penalty.
But look, I think it's a final that I want. I know what United are gonna be about. It's just gonna be hey, Ole's at the wheel. Let's go and put them out there, and you guys just express yourself because there are no to Manchester United. I just feel that they've always been they're always a second half team, but they're a great second half team. They're a great second half team.
Yes.
So last week, look against Roma, that Roma keeper was a curtain. He was just sitting there.
Child.
Those guys were firing the ball. There's no chance you should be winning a game 6-2 in the semi-finals of Europe. That is actually ridiculous.
And especially a hurdle that Manchester United have always had an issue. I mean, we all know that Oli has only gotten to semis, and that's kind of where he has always been. So I think maybe that's where the chat was like, no, you know what? We've been, in this voodoo for a long time. We'll show y'all that we're way past this. And that's where the 6 goals came from. And looking at how this week as well, I don't see it stopping. I don't see how they will not be getting any more goals. And also because I looked at Roma this past weekend in, Serie A, and they were just as awful as they were in that first leg. And I don't know how you motivate a team to come back from that with so much also going on, because in between back-to-back losses, I don't know how you announce that this coach is leaving and you're getting another coach. I feel like there's so much going on in Rome right now that no matter what players say, things like this do affect them. And I don't know whether Edin Dzeko can rally his charges to make sure that they overturn that deficit. But like you said, it seems like it's going to be an all-English final in the Europa League as well. And Vince, that's actually how I want to end off the conversation today on this special edition of a Touchline. Before we wrap up, do remember that it is a second leg semi-final tonight, the Champions League. That is Chelsea, who host Real Madrid, as well as Manchester United and Roma tomorrow, and also Villarreal and Arsenal at the Emirates. That is how we wrap up Touchline today. Vince, thank you so much. I look forward to chatting to you again on Monday when we catch up on everything that has happened in football.
I'm looking forward to it. If Arsenal lose, you won't find me on Touchline for the rest of the year.
And for everybody that is tuned into Touchline, thank you so much. Please do find us on all our socials. That is Touchline SA on Instagram and Twitter. My name is Oarabile Diphoko. Until next time, here on Touchline, we're out.